Hi, welcome back to my channel. After we did our daily vlog, I had a lot of questions about how I do my hair. And so today I'm going to film a hair tutorial for you. I first wanted to talk about some products really quick. I have really thick and kind of coarse wavy hair naturally. So if I want to do it straight, I actually have to use a straightening iron. I can't just let it dry or blow dry it because it just is like one big frizzy mess. So if that helps any of you guys out, these are the products that I use. And I'm going to apologize in advance because they're a little bit pricier products. I have tried everything from $1.50 Suave shampoo and products all the way up to kind of more expensive high-end products, and these are the only ones that I have found that really worked for my hair and keep it from being frizzy. So to do this tutorial, of course, you're going to need a blow dryer, and this one is a Hot Tools blow dryer, and it's been pretty good. I feel like it's starting to run out, and it's been about 1.5 years, but it was really cute with the swirls, so I couldn't say no. You're also going to need a ceramic round brush. I guess it doesn't have to be ceramic, it's just the one I use. And this one is by Olivia Garden, and it's a ceramic ion brush, and I don't know if that helps, but they say it does. This one is probably, it says 45 on the tip of it, so I'm guessing it's about 1.5 inch barrel, if that helps. The larger the barrel that you use, the bigger your curls are going to be. Smaller the barrel, your tighter your curls are going to be. So just keep that in mind. The other thing that I always use is a heat protectant spray, and this is the Got To Be Guardian Angel Heat Protectant, and I just do that because it's actually for flat ironing, and I do flat iron my hair sometimes, but I use it when I blow dry too, just because I'm putting heat on my hair. So I would always recommend that. And then I also use Kerastase Nutritive. This is Nectar Thermique is what it's called, and it's a thermal seal. This is like another heat protectant, but it also helps smooth your hair down. And then finally I use Oleo Relax as you anti-frizz. This is a little bit of an oil, and you don't use very much of this. I use about a nickel size maybe for my hair, but I have quite a bit of hair. And then for this stuff I use about a pea size or so. And then the last thing that I use, but you can use anything, you can use a hair clip or whatever, is I use one of these hair picks. I use it to brush my hair out first when it's wet, and then I also use it to wrap and hold my hair up. I've just done it for years, and that's just what I use. So those are the products that I use, so let's get started with the tutorial. So I just start off by lightly blow drying my hair, and I'm just using my fingers. I've heard that there's less damage, less breakage to your hair if you just use your fingers, and I just blow it dry so it's about probably 95% dry. You just want to get the majority of the water out of it before you start using a brush with it. So once it's all dry, I use the oil that I talked about, and then also the cream anti-frizz, and I just mix them both together right in my hand, and then I just smear them in my hair all nice and even. And I'm only using about a nickel size of the oil, and then I don't know, that's a little bit bigger than a pea size of the lotion product. And I just smooth it all in, running it through my fingers through my hair just to get it, you know, evenly distributed throughout my hair. As you can see, my hair is nice and frizzy and big. I think I was born to be in the 80s. It looked really good during that decade, but now that we're in the 90s and things are a little bit sleeker, you got to take some anti-frizz precautions. So now I'm just spraying on that heat protectant spray that I talked to you about, and I just kind of spritz it all over my hair, just getting it evenly distributed before I start doing the more intense blow drying. And I'm just going to start, my blow dryer is on high heat, and I'm just taking my round brush, and I do the top of my hair first just because it tends to get kind of too dry, and then it doesn't smooth out nicely if I wait till the very end to do it. So I'm just going to do the top of it first. As you can see, I'm just grabbing a small section and rolling my bangs forward until they're nice and dry. And then I grab the next section back, and I'm going to do the same thing, except for this time I am rolling my brush backward away from my face. And I just flip my hair onto my blow dryer and then back onto the brush, and just kind of gently pull on it and turn it back to make a curve, like to make a curl going backward. And I just do that until it's all the way dry, and you can tell when it's dry because there won't be any resistance on your brush. When it's still slightly damp, you'll see that there's a little bit of pull resistance that you can feel on your brush, and so you just want to do it until it's nice and dry, and it just gives it a smooth kind of curl texture to it. And I just am again curling the next layer away from my face.
And then I'm finally going to grab that kind of crown section and just do the same thing. And again, I'm just smoothing out the top section of my hair so that it doesn't end up being frizzy or bent from being pulled up in a clip, which is what I'm going to be doing in just a minute. Alright, now I'm just going to kind of carefully run my fingers through my hair, and then just right above my ear line, I just pull back the majority of my hair, so I'm leaving just a couple of inches along the bottom, and then I just pull my hair, split it evenly in the back of my head and pull it kind of towards the front. And I'm just running my brush through just to kind of smooth it out. And the first thing I'm going to do is take a small section, I guess about 1.5 inch section or so, and I just am going to, again, smooth it out, sort of like I did with the top, just making sure that it's dry. And you can tell, again, that it's dry by how much it kind of pulls or resists. The next thing I'm going to do, if you can see there, is I'm twisting the brush, and I just still have a little tiny bit holding it on at the very end of my brush, and I just let that kind of sit and cool just slightly, and then I'll just pull the brush out and it kind of leaves a curl, as you can see there. So I'm going to repeat that and do the same thing on the next section. Again, I just kind of smooth it out using my round brush, and I'm not really I'm twisting it a little bit, but I'm not curling my hair up in it, I'm just pulling it through the hair. Once I feel like it's dry, then I'll again start twisting my brush, and then I just let it cool for just a second and drop it out the bottom of the brush. And I'm just going to repeat that throughout the remaining hair on my head. So I'm going to speed this video up a little bit so that you can see it, but you don't have to watch it in real time. I think doing this hairstyle takes about 20 minutes or so, but that's also because I have quite a bit of hair. You could also do it to shorter hair, and it would look really cute. It just would take you much less time than it takes me. So I'm just finishing up on this other side over here, and I've speeded it up a little bit so that you don't have to watch it real time. But as you can see, I just have a couple of little kind of curly cues there, and I'm going to split it one more time about 1 inch or so above my ears and pin up the rest with my comb there. And then I'm going to just continue that same process, taking about 1 inch to 1.5 inch sections of hair. And as you can see, I'm resting my hair on my blow dryer and then grabbing it again with the brush, so it makes it a little bit easier to control your hair that way. And then just let it again cool and split it again. So I think I split the bottoms into 2 on each side. The middle layer I do about 3 chunks, sometimes 4. It kind of depends on how much hair I have down there. And then I just continue that away. And if you'll notice, I'm actually curling them all away from my face. You can do this alternating curls. That also looks nice. I just do them all going away from my face because it's easier and usually in a hurry. But as you can see, again, I'm just wrapping the brush. Once it gets dry, I twist the brush so I have a nice twist, and I let it sit on the brush for just a second before letting go of it. And then I make one more part, leaving the top section that I dried at the very beginning is about all that's left, and so I'm just taking another very probably about 1 inch section from the crown of my head and going around one more time. And this one, I believe I broke into 4 sections on each side, 3 or 4 sections. It doesn't really matter. The smaller the section, the tighter the curl that you'll have, and it kind of depends on how big of a hurry I am in. So as you can see, I've just repeated that process for the whole length of my hair, and then I'm back at the top that I've already dried, and just since it's been up in that clip this whole time, I just give it a quick redo. And again, I'm just pulling it away from, or rolling it away from my face, and then the front section I roll towards my face. And that's about it. Now I just let the curls cool. I am going to use a little bit of hairspray, and that's the bedhead hairspray that you see me using there, and I just put a really light dusting on, not too much. I don't like hairspray and I don't like my hair feeling crunchy. And then I'll just leave my curls and carefully just finger through the curls just to break them up. You don't really want to brush it, but just break them up, and that's it.
Okay, so that's it. This is what it looks like when I'm all done, and it kind of just has these big sort of beachy waves going on. As you saw in the video, I kind of just wait for the curls to cool down. Sometimes I don't even brush them out. We'll just go and get started with our day, and then later before I leave the house, I'll just run my fingers through them. You don't necessarily want to brush it because the curls are so loose since they were just done with a brush and a blow dryer that you'll end up with just kind of a light wave. So I don't actually brush them, but I just use my fingers and just kind of loosen out the curls, split them out so it doesn't look like I have ringlets, and that's it. And I started doing this because I obviously have to blow dry my hair, otherwise you saw in the video it's really frizzy. But I was blow drying my hair and then I was using a curling iron, and that's like 2 heats in one day, and my hair was getting so dry. So I figured if I had to blow dry it anyways, I might as well figure out how to curl it at the same time. And then I usually only wash my hair every other day just because I do color treat my hair and it gets really dry. So on the second day, I might instead use a dry shampoo right after I get out of the shower, and then sometimes I'll use a curling iron that day. Sometimes I'll just kind of brush it and it still has enough wave left in it to just go, it's just not quite as curly. So I just try and put as least amount of heat as possible. And I do take a shower every day, but I just wash my hair every other day. So I just put it up in a clip, or if you have a shower cap, that works a lot better. I don't have one, so that's just how I do it. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time.